Should get your go live notification here in a minute. Oh, I don't have anywhere to charge. But that was one of those. So we popped in Siberia, Brant, and it was like, I don't know about this. Like, weren't we stuck immediately? Like she was in a hotel, like trying to ask questions in this hotel to this robot dude.
I don't know, man, because I just remember you talking about, like, I keep hearing how great this game is, and you popped it in there, and we're playing, and it's a very game of its time because it doesn't give you any fucking indication of what to do. So it's like we're just sitting here like clicking on everything and like,
Like
all
a
right,
third
this doesn't
person
do
mist.
anything.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you were like, this is just like Myst. It's like we're just
Yeah.
literally just click on everything until something happens.
Click on everything. That's the philosophy. It's the Myst-esque games. I bet people are like, holy shit, they're live again. What are we doing? What year is it?
It's almost 2026.
Holidays are hard, man. I think we'll be able to get back on schedule after the holidays, but it's been fucking difficult. And there's always something happening. I used to think it was just like football games and stuff that got in the way, and then we started having all sorts of concerts, and it was one thing after another through the weekends. Yeah, 377. We ready to get? Have y'all heard from Buish? I don't know if he's wanting to get on anything.
Normally he asks what's on the menu, but
Yeah,
he didn't do it.
Get his menu question.
So I'm assuming he's probably busy.
Might be. I haven't heard from him today.
I did make sure my shit was upgraded this time. Everything's up to date.
Yeah, we could do that if nothing else, right? I did some cleanup. I cleaned up the floor spaghetti.
No, add to the floor spaghetti.
Yeah, floor spaghetti is a good sign, right?
Non-stop floor spaghetti.
That means you're doing stuff. But I had the SingStar controllers out on the ground. I had to pick those up and move them somewhere. We are live. There's some people with us. We are live. I need another long weekend.
No, we got stupid holidays that fall on like Thursdays and Wednesdays this year.
Yeah, it's killing me.
It's garbage.
This past Friday was rough. Yesterday, I mean.
Yep.
It was rough. I'm like, why am I here?
There was nobody at my job, and it's like, man, it's.
Yep.
Man,
and the ones
it was a catch up. It was a catch up day for me. Did some studying, some bullshit like that. I'm like, I find stuff to stay busy. So
the ones that were there were like, I guess they're as bored as we are. We ended up just talking about random stuff, so made the day go by. All right, you guys ready to go? I gotta invite our two friends into the.
Are we streaming Siberia? Is that what's happening?
I mean, go for it. If this is what you want to do.
Hey, man.
Now recording.
I mean, do we stream all the different versions?
No, I think there's like four. There's 4 games, right? The first one's been remastered, and then 2. I think what was it? 2. They said was okay through its complete horse garbage.
3 was a different like developer or writer or something, right? I have 1 and 2 for Xbox. I don't even know what 3 is on. What's 3 on?
I mean, you get they got the complete set on Switch, I think. And which
Switch has everything.
It's so convoluted because there's like 1's on cart, and then 2 and 3's got like 8 different versions, which are digital and not digital, and then there's a trilogy pack, which is digital and not digital, and the non-digital version is like $200. So it's like, because they only did like a limited print of those in Europe and no other region, and it's like it's super convoluted. But I mean, at the end of the day, you can get digital versions of that, and I think everything's playable on Switch. You can get the trilogy on PS3. That's been reprinted by THQ not too long ago. That's being sold by VGP.
That's right. It's the THQ Nordic reprint or whatever they advertise. They did a bunch of obscure PS3 games. They've done like Killzone trilogy and stuff like that. I saw on the website. It was sold
they
out,
still
but
work with Sony.
yeah,
Sony and Nintendo, because they do the Nintendo like cart revisions as well, like with all the updates and DLC on cart. So
doing the Lord's work.
if I had money, I would buy the complete Xenoblade one with all the DLC on cart, but they always want like $250 for that complete set. I'm like, I can't.
I'll just buy that.
I just live with what I got. So
Yeah,
I would love if I had like an extra $250 that I can dispose of. I would drop it on there. So
by the time you grab that or get around to it, they'll have the quadrilogy on Switch 2, like native ports on 2 cartridges or something, where you have all 3 in the Golden Country, I think, is like the side quest one.
Yeah, the Tornado.
Oh, you also have Xenoblade Chronicles X though, so I guess there's 5 games in the series. Yeah, Switch 2 native, 2 terabyte Switch 2 card with all games on it, with all Xenoblade games on it, and the Xenosaga games. That would be extraordinary.
Game key card.
For game key cards. That's our damn
Game key card.
You know it would be. I mean, fucking Nintendo's doing game key cards now for that damn Pokemon game. So
there's no way that shit's that fucking high of a download.
We'll find out once that game comes out, right? So
which one's supposed to be a game key card?
Picopia or whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
they're like Pokemon, Minecraft. Yeah.
Find out, huh? Game key cards. We've come around on those a little bit, I feel like.
It's part of life. I've given up on it because I think at this point they pretty much said it's that memory chipset on there is part of the RAM. It's just they don't have many of those full cart ones available. So it just is what it is at this point.
Depends on the game too, because stuff like what was that? Star Wars Outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those assets are streamed. So,
or Final Fantasy VII, which is like almost 100 gigs, which won't fit on the 64 gig card anyway. So
there'd be no way.
I guess. Yeah, I picked up Outlaws physical. I guess that's my first game key card. What do I know? I pop it in and downloads a new version or updates, and it's just like anything else these days, right?
Yeah.
I'm just relying on their servers. But hey, I popped in Gran Turismo 5 Prologue the other day, which is, closing in on 20 years old? 16, 17 years old? It had a title update, so those servers are still up for PS3. So, what do we know? We're just gambling.
I mean, for now.
They don't make them like these.
We saw that European region switched over the Euros, right? And they said that like you can't use the PlayStation Store anymore because they're like, yeah, we're not converting anything in that store, so that store's done in that country.
Oh
so
no!
Yeah.
No, don't do it to us.
Forgot what country it was because they're adopting the euro and they're like, yeah, starting this next year you have to use the euro in their store, but it's like you can't. They're not upgrading the system where you can buy anything else, so they're just sunsetting the PSN store for PS3.
For those still paying for PS3 games in Deutschmarks.
Yeah, I forgot what the country was, but somebody had put it on Twitter like it started.
It started. They kicked off the debate. It's beginning. They're gonna boot us. I don't know. Every time they try to get rid of that thing, somebody claims enough of an uproar starts, and they keep it alive for us. I think the 360 one wasn't so bad because they had the backward compatibility program, so a lot of those you can still buy.
Here's from the official PlayStation Store page. PlayStation Store Bulgaria currency change guide. From January 1st, 2026, the unit of currency in Bulgaria will change from lev to the euro. We're now working to make the currency changeover on the PlayStation Store. PlayStation Store will support payment methods using euros from January 16th to the 26th. What does this mean for me? Blah, blah, blah. You can make payments with the euro. Existing funds. From mid-January, you will no longer be able to make purchases from the Bulgarian PS3 or PlayStation Vita stores. at the very bottom. Yep.
We hate that for our Bulgarian friends and followers of the show.
Which is crazy because I mean you just can add funds but
Yeah.
from a wallet on the PS5 and just use that on there. But I guess
Right.
they're just like, yeah, we're not doing it.
You don't even use native currency anymore, right? You're converting everything to PlayStation bucks to upload it. So what does it matter?
That's why people are like, it started. It started.
It begins.
Yep.
All right, let's get this thing going.
Waiting for Sony to come out there. It's like, yeah, they're sunsetting the penny in the United States, so you can't buy PS3 and video games anymore.
Oh my
'Cause
god.
we're not updating the 99 cent.
Yeah,
US,
but we can't leave a remainder of a penny because if something happens, we got to pay it out in cash. We can't support you. And I'm like,
Yep.
when's that ever happen?
Didn't all those cards say no
feel
cash value when we bought all those $9.99 and $19.99 PlayStation Point cards?
Somehow I think that's how they would get away with it. They were like, oh, that's the reasoning why this works in our heads.
Right. We told you there was no cash value. We took away your PlayStation.
But what if there was? And what if we got sued and we had to give cash value and we just can't do it because the penny doesn't exist? So
They just waited. They played the long game until pennies no longer existed. The legal team came to him and was like, listen, we need to pull this, but you can't. Not until the penny is absolved. When the penny is gone, then you can pull the plug.
yeah, now they're looking at the nickel. The nickel's like, you're next, nickel.
Obscure coins from the treasury. The nickel is next. I don't remember last time I paid cash for something and got changed. So if I'm paying cash for something, it's because somebody's like, "Hey, this is $20. I need $20." I'm like, "Okay, I got you 20. I'm not getting change from this."
At this point, everything's just rounded up to about fives now, right? I mean, you just make it where you don't let it end on a 1 or anything less than 5 cents, right?
Yeah, I guess you have to.
At some point, now you're okay because there's still enough in circulation, but at some point, you would have to do that.
I'm sure they've done the math to see how long it'll take before they're all out of circulation.
Yeah, I don't think it's long because there's like QT and all that's already started. Like, hey, we may not give you exact change because the shortage on pennies, so it's already kind of begun. So,
damn, just like the lettuce at Wendy's.
Yep. Don't get it started on Wendy's because they had the better SpongeBob burger apparently. Because I got lost in threads where they were comparing the SpongeBob burger from Wendy's to the SpongeBob burger from Burger King. That Burger King one was like duty hole. I was like, ugh.
Why is everybody clamoring
on that bread yellow?
Is there a new movie or something? Like, why is it nonstop SpongeBob promotions? Okay. Are we getting a new game? There's usually a game tie-in with all this stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, it came out.
No, not anymore.
Came out like a month ago. Remember?
Is it a new platformer?
Weird one from. I think so.
I don't think it's tied to the movie though.
It's not, but it's a new game.
I got you. It's still the level of cross promotion to funnel your funds somewhere.
What's it called?
Oh yeah, because I saw a bunch of people at the premiere.
Tide to Tide. Yeah. Tide to Tide.
And there's a SpongeBob character, a voice actor, I think, that's a big video game voice actor that I would have seen. Oh, Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill's a character in the SpongeBob movie.
He is.
That's how it crossed the streams. Buish says he's playing Angerfoot Brant special. Angerfootin' right now, Brant special.
Good ass game.
I said, what's on the menu? Probably Battlefield again, unless. What else did you update, Brant?
Oh, that was. I think Firebreak had a update, but that's 3-player.
Okay, I don't think I had Firebreak.
But Battlefield had a small myriad of update.
Ooh.
Several pieces of Battlefield updated, but it didn't take very long.
I cut the PS5 on yesterday or 2 days ago, and I think it would have run through all that.
Should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be good.
We end up Battlefielding. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 377 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and European currency conversion podcast. That's right. In the pre-show, we converted the Bulgarian lev. Was that it, Cesar? Levs?
Lev, yep.
Yes, levs to dollars. The PlayStation Network apparently will not recognize those anymore as they switch to euros. So talk amongst yourselves as we did. You can join us every Friday night at 8 o'clock. We do this every Friday night at 8 o'clock. And we usually start around that time before the actual podcast recording so you can hear whatever nonsense we're going through and talking about. It's usually video game related or video game adjacent. So if this is your type of content, tune in. This is, of course, Saturday night. The holidays have totally screwed up our schedules. We've tried to get together as best all of our schedules have worked the past month or so, and it is what it is through the holidays. But maybe through the new year we'll get back on more of a routine. Tonight's news is the end of the year. It's not a whole lot of stuff, and it's actually a sad bit of news to start off with. Vince Zampella passes at 55. Are different size Switch 2 carts coming? 98% complete build of Resident Evil for Game Boy Color has been found. Where was it hiding? And what is the next playground? I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster Brant McKee.
What's up?
Brant, how do you do?
I'm doing well now.
He's on the mend. How was your Christmas? Did you have a gaming Christmas?
I had a little bit of gaming Christmas, yes.
I think I had to purchase all my gaming Christmases on my own. There's a bunch of Hallmark ornaments on sale, on clearance after Christmas. It's kind of nice.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to get the 360 to add to the tree.
I did get that one. I did grab that one. The first comment on the thread was does it actually do the red ring when you fire it up? It does. It's
when the battery starts dying.
Yeah.
When the battery starts dying, it would red ring. That would be great.
But it plays some Halo 3 music, which is awesome. I got my kids the 3-pack of Minecraft heads. It's Alex, Steve, and a white wolf or something. I don't know. I know the tree's coming down, the ornaments are coming off, all that stuff, but we'll have them for the next years, right? So they'll have that available for next year when that stuff comes in. Also here, our resident lore master and soundboard master, Cesar Concepcion II. Cesar, welcome.
Hello.
Cesar, did you have a gaming Christmas?
I played games.
Yes. That counts. That counts as a gaming Christmas. Did anybody play Nights? I know Brant usually fires up Nights into Dreams Christmas disc on occasion. Cesar seeked out some Nights into Dreams Christmas content on another game.
I should have fired up my new my Knight's Journey of Dreams. See if it had some Christmas themes.
How is that one? I have that on Switch. I have it on Switch. I have it on Wii as well. I feel like it wasn't reviewed very well, but it was another Knights game. Brant, you'll have to stream it and show the world.
I will have to.
The only thing they had on there, which I think was planned beforehand, was that Knights was going to be a unlockable character in the Sonic Cross Worlds Racing at exactly December 24th at 7 p.m. So I was playing that. I was
you sent me a picture. I was like, shit.
Man. Yeah.
Do I have to get on now? You're like, no, you're good. It just unlocked now, so you're good.
I mean, yeah, I think there's as of now there's 3 free DLC characters that are available that you can go along with the paid ones. So I think there's still 2 more left that are going to be free that are going to be early 2026. So I think they just unlock after a certain day and time. So
okay.
Which naturally they update in the back end. So
it's just a content rollout. So when you update the game, you'll have those new characters. That's cool though.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that the Switch 2 version of Sonic Cross Worlds Racing was already available. So that one was there, and I think I had to pay $10 for the upgrade and for the Switch one, and it went through. So
because we knew it was after the major consoles, right? That version was kind of behind.
Yeah, and it's coming out December 9th or something like that. It didn't come out too long ago, so
Right.
somehow I forgot all about it, and then I was like, yeah, $10, let's go.
Just after Black Friday, just let people get the regular game on, because the Switch one came out with the rest of them, right? And then people could grab that one maybe on sale and then upgrade shortly thereafter.
Well, I think the one to wait for Switch 2 is that one's gonna be on the 64 gig card, but that's not until early next year. So
Maybe that'll be content complete. Fingers crossed.
they said it wasn't going to be when I looked at the website where they were breaking it down.
Damn.
So
It's on
I think
sale right now.
Why not make that a game
The
key
regular,
card game,
yeah, the regular one is on sale for like $39. So it's honestly better to just go ahead and grab it and do the upgrade.
Pay the upgrade.
You'll get it
that's what I
cheaper
ended up
than
doing.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that version's obsolete now, right? The one that's on the cartridge. Just like my PS5 disc, obsolete. It's gonna have updates and everything run off the disc.
They all
Yep.
will. I mean, even the
That's how
64
it
gig
is.
one's going to have it because it said the DLC's not all going to be on there. I think they said like the first batch would DLC, the first free one will be, but the other 4 will not be. I think they have some website that breaks it all down because I think they've been pretty transparent about it. So, of course, the premium DLC will not be on there, but the included free update ones. I think there's 5 additional characters. They said only one of them will be on there, which I think would be Joker from Persona 5. So.
What does the paid DLC path look like? Is it pretty good for that game? Like interesting characters and stuff, skins?
I
There's like
think
Nickelodeon
that's
stuff.
the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one where you had like the SpongeBob and Minecraft, and I think you get additional cups. I think there's 2 or 3 additional cups with the 3 levels each, and then each at the end of it they have like a mixture. The 4th level is like a mixture of the first 3, where it's like it just overlaps, kind of similar to what Mario World does with their little knockout stage stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So not the same thing. It's not a knockout stage, but it's like the previous maps kind of overlap to one giant one.
Kind of blends them together.
Mm.
All right, let's move into this news. We'll do the somber one first. This is a reporter from Chris Scullion of VGC VideoGamesChronicle.com. Battlefield head, Call of Duty co-creator, and Respawn CEO Vince Zampella has died. As reported by NBC Los Angeles, the former Infinity Ward co-founder and Call of Duty co-creator died in a car crash on Southern California's Angeles Crest Highway. This is as of December 22nd, so right before Christmas. The car reportedly veered off the road in the San Gabriel Mountains and hit a concrete barrier, after which it caught fire. There's more descriptions in there. Don't need to really dive into how the person passed. I don't think that's newsworthy as far as that goes, but it's a huge loss in the industry from like a first-person shooter visionary over the past 20, 25 years. Infinity Ward started off with as part of EA Medal of Honor Allied Assault. It says his first big break came in 2015, but that was not 2015. Oh, came at 2015 Inc. Okay, I thought that was thought it was Infinity Ward.
Yeah, it kind of goes over his whole career. Just saying he started as a graphic designer in the 90s, working with game companies such as Atari and Sega. His big break came at 2015 Inc. Led to the design of critically acclaimed EA's Medal of Honor Allied Assault.
The PC one.
Afterward, he would co-found Infinity Ward with Grant Collier and Jason West.
They spun up Call of Duty and then left Infinity Ward after one of the Modern Warfares, I think.
It was Modern Warfare 2. There was a
schism,
some kind of hubbub between them and Activision, and it caused just kind of left a bad taste in their mouth, and they just said screw it, and they left.
Went back to EA.
I
remember that was a huge deal when they signed with EA and they had Infinity Ward co-creator. It was all over the news.
But then he started Respawn and gave us things like Titanfall 2, Apex Legends, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I know he worked, Battlefield 2042.
And this new Battlefield, the one we've been playing, has been his baby, which is a return to form for Battlefield. It just sucks, man. 55 right before the holidays.
Yeah, it definitely sucks.
Yeah,
And you feel it leaves a definitely a big hole in the industry there, but
Big time.
definitely feel for his family. Because, like you said, 55, that's way too early.
We're all trying to get to 55 so we can not be working. We're somewhere close to that age. Yep. Let's move on. We talked a little bit about game key cards in the pre-show. I think Cesar and I were chatting back and forth when all this stuff was going on. This is reported from by Andy Robinson as well from VideoGamesChronicle.com. Nintendo will offer an alternative to Switch 2's controversial game key cards, Dev says. Enin claims it's now skipping game key cards thanks to new, quote, smaller cartridge options. So this was kind of a whirlwind because I think when I was chatting back and forth with Cesar, there were like multiple revisions to this story as it was going back and forth. What's that, Brant?
There was several. They had to revise several times.
There was an about face on the on the press release as it was, and like some redacted. Like I saw one with like a redacted paragraph. They were like, "Oh, nope, not right now." So this is it actually is concerning R-Type Dimensions 3, which is coming out. We talked about game key cards. I guess a recap, you pop it in and it's basically like we've gotten used to Xbox One and Xbox Series discs. It's a license unlock, right? So you have a physical copy of a thing that unlocks a digital thing, and then it'll download the most recent update or whatever it is that the most recent build of that title. I guess the cool advantage is over a digital transaction is that you could trade it. Cesar buys a game key card of something and it's something I want to play. He can loan it to me and then I can loan it to Brent. And we're not paying multiple times for this digital license, but there's nothing on the cartridge. It's just an unlock. So far, as VGC says, the vast majority of third-party Switch 2 games are game key cards, with only a few exceptions reportedly because only one card size is available to developers, 64 gigs. However, this could soon change. Twitter account Does It Play claimed earlier this week that Nintendo is planning to introduce two new card options for developers, 16 gig and 32 gig, potentially offering cheaper options for physical releases. If y'all remember, a couple months ago, Cesar was bringing up, was it Puyo Pop? Whatever, the Puyo Pop Tetris number 2 or something like that. And it was a game key card, and it's like
4 gigs.
Yeah, it's like, how does this happen? It's so small. And now we're finding out why, is because these smaller sizes don't exist. However, this could soon change. This was seemingly corroborated by developer Enin, which announced on social media that its upcoming R-Type title would now ship with the whole game on its Switch 2 card after, quote, Nintendo announced 2 new smaller cartridge sizes for Nintendo Switch 2. Enin said R-Type Dimensions 3 would thus no longer be released as a game key card, but would retail for $10 more to account for, quote, higher production costs. The developer later issued a quote, correction, that, quote, there has been no official announcement or confirmation from Nintendo concerning cartridge storage capacities, end quote, and that, quote, any references to specific storage sizes should not be interpreted as official information from Nintendo. So pretty much an immediate backpedal on what they had announced there. Has there been any other?
But I think they just said it's still coming on a full cartridge release, though. Nothing's changed. It's just whatever. They amended the whole part about being multiple options for them to do a full card release. That was pretty much it.
Their redacted press release.
They gave out too much information. Yeah, they gave out too much information. They just basically should have just said, like, hey, we heard you. We're doing a full cartridge release, but it's going to be $10 additional. So
not any sort of
apparently they gave up more. Yeah.
Thanks to Nintendo for allowing us to have this option.
I know. Yeah, I know. Everybody doesn't want, I guess why Nintendo's keeping that as a trade secret, but as people are very vocal about stuff, I'm assuming they're doing that to protect developers. Because you're going to get that question now every time. It's like, oh, it's 2 additional sizes. Why are you putting this on the game key card? So,
or where was this when I was? when we
Oh, well, I
launched
was
the
gonna say-
system. Where was this when I was trying to put Puyo Pop on one cartridge, and now I had to do a game key card. So, go ahead,
But
Brent.
not only that,
Well, that link I sent you from.
Talking
I was
over
gonna
each other.
say, if people hear smaller size cartridges, they might automatically think cheaper as well. But as we were talking about, also just the storage for systems, computers, everything, all sorts of. Doesn't matter if it's flash storage or any kind of flash storage out there is expensive.
Right.
So, I doubt even with smaller size cartridges, the price is going to be negligible, and you'll probably still have the same. Some games will cost $59. Some games are going to cost $69. So
Nice. And we talked about
I
this,
mean,
right?
also depends on the publisher too. So they may not
Yeah.
be willing to pay the extra $10 and be like, yeah, we're not going to sell this many, so we're not going to take the hit. Game key cards are still more attractive on that.
And you get the physical retail space, right? You have a cartridge out there on the shelf space at Walmart or wherever else video games might be sold. It seems like it's dwindling. And we talked about Brant was talking about the price points. We kicked this around when we started first learning about the game key cards, right? Give us the choice. Let the consumer decide. I don't expect a savings out of this. Like, I don't expect to get a better deal for a lower size cartridge, but give me the option of having the full game on the cartridge at that time. So we all said we
same with the new Punichi software collector's editions, because you charge $150 for like these new Trolls games and Gaia 6 complete or 7 complete for the collector's editions, and you just put a game key card in there. I was like, damn, just put a full cart in there. Sell the game key cards regularly throughout the retail space, but on those collector's edition, make it worth the extra cost that you're paying all this $100 for that stuff. So
make it a bit more of an incentive.
Actually, you probably will fucking sell out, because I think last time I checked, a lot of those are not selling anymore because people are like, I'm not buying that for a game key card.
Yeah,
paying $100 for a game, $150 for a game for like a game key card. They're like, they can go away with
download.
That, so.
I'm assuming you get extras with that too, right? There's art books and figures and stuff with those collector's editions.
That's the whole point. Yeah, I mean those are exclusive to that site. So it's like you do small runs on those, but then again, I don't know the statistics. So 64 gigs, they might have to do a certain amount. It's all from Nintendo on the back end. So I mean, there's restrictions, right? Because I mean that's the whole reason why they can't do a Sonic Cross Worlds until early next year. I mean, I think the pipeline's a little bit longer on those full carts. So,
but I mean, if you remember, Sony's been doing this too. What was it? God of War Ragnarok, and was it Horizon that they did like collector's editions for those games? And I mean, obviously, we know that those games have physical editions. But for some reason, in these big special collector's edition, you got these statues, you got all this extra content, and then you just got a download code for the game. They wouldn't even throw the disc in the box with it. So
I think they did that with one of the Ghost of Tsushima, or maybe the new Ghost game. They did a similar thing with.
Yeah, new Ghost is the one on there because the original one had something. So.
I think I got that Tsushima collector's edition or whatever that middle tier SKU was. And I think it came, I don't think I bought that twice. I think it came with I believe, who knows. Yeah, but that's aggravating. So if they're doing that, is that their new model? They've done that with a couple of SKUs, or is that just like one or two, like this Gaia?
I think it's everything Switch 2 related.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think everything else is selling out, because I looked on here for Legends of Hero Trails Beyond Horizon. The collector's edition for PS4 is completely sold out because those are becoming more and more expensive to find. So like I think Sonic X Shadows for PS4, a physical copy of that, is like pretty fucking expensive on eBay.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah. Only came out in Europe, and then it was a small run and they stopped.
About to say, I didn't even know that came out on PS4 at all. So it wasn't an NTSC title.
Yeah, I think that one. Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's gotten. If you do the Korean version, it's better. But if you do like the European one, I think the European one's almost like $100.
Is Europe that big of a Sonic territory that they could do a physical Sonic Shadow Generation?
I think Visions of Mana. Visions of Mana also had a PS4 version that was exclusive to Europe. They're just printing PS4 games over there. We didn't get that version over here either. So
I wonder if they've been slower to adopt PS5 or something, and there's a reason for that.
Europe is mostly a PlayStation area ever since PlayStation came out. Microsoft could never get a foothold in there, so I think that's why there's just so many PlayStation users over there. I think that's why they keep doing it.
Yeah. All right.
That's PlayStation country over there.
Oh yeah, they started putting, what was the big story? They put Wipeout in the clubs, and they were playing the rave music and the Chemical Brothers. That's the soundtrack for Wipeout, and people were like loving the rave scene was going on, and people were loving the Wipeout music.
Yeah, I think the only foothold they had at Xbox over there was, I think Xbox was able to get England. That was it. Through the 360 time now, but that was it.
Maybe Rare, some of that British humor type stuff with like Viva Pinata and Grab by the Ghoulies, the aforementioned Grab by the Ghoulies. It was a good game, and it looked amazing.
I enjoyed the time I had with it.
Yeah. Is there any chance I could find that Xbox with our save file on it? It's like one of 18 Xboxes that could have that save profile on it.
Yeah, but you like doing shit like that, so I would be surprised if you fire stuff up to look in there and find it. So.
Yeah, I would rifle through these things and find it.
I mean, but you have an external memory card. We probably need to start putting that shit on there for like stuff we need to revisit in the future.
Yeah. Or just have like a definitive one that I keep hooked up, and that might be that one, as a matter of fact, but I don't know. That's might be a couple iterations ago. Mess around with stuff all the time.
I mean, you went through that whole capacitor gate a couple months, years ago back, so it could be all mixed up now.
Yep, took out all the clock caps. I was reminded, because I was playing some Christmas music on my Xbox down here, as one does in the year of our Lord 2025. And every time I fire that one up, it asks for the date. It's got the launch date of the Xbox on there. I'm like, this will never skip past this page and just boot, because it's got no clock capacitor in it. I believe there's the same issue with the Dreamcast, but that CMOS battery is like right behind. I'm looking at my Dreamcast now, so it's a little bit easier. You got those 4 controller ports on the front. That CMOS battery is like tucked into like right above that 4th. It's off-centered too. It's right above that 4th controller port. But you pretty much gotta disassemble the Dreamcast to pop that thing in. The one in the Saturn's just in the back. Like you pop that little lever, that little door off the back of the Saturn, and swap that out, and it's easy breezy. PS2 I think is harder to get to, but none of my PS2s have that issue. Anytime I fire up a PS2, the clock's good. It saved everything. So, but also I do unplug those. I don't know. That's a whole episode, is battery clock saves on old game systems. I've got a shit ton of those CMOS batteries too, if y'all end up needing some. I got good deals apparently, and I'm sitting on like 40 of those things. So I did a little mini project over the holidays, cleaning some 3D glasses and putting new batteries in there. So I've gone through and done everything I need to do with them. If you guys, or key fobs, if you need new battery for your key fob. All right, I'm getting distracted. Tell us about Game Boy Color Resident Evil Ramp Key, the definitive edition. I can see by looking at this. This is the definitive way to play Resident Evil.
Yes. So this is from Chris Scollion, VGC. A 98% complete version of the canceled Game Boy Color Resident Evil port has been shared online. So in 1999, London-based studio HotGen was given the intimidating task of porting the PS1 and Saturn game to Nintendo's handheld. Somehow turning the 32-bit console game, which came on 2 CDs, into an 8-bit handheld game with only 2 megabyte cartridges. Despite the impossible, they actually mostly did it.
Yeah, this
the game
video
was
looks crazy.
actually nearing completion when it was canceled in the mid 2000s. Let's see, it made the rounds online, a small version of it. I think I found some kind of demo for it before, and it was actually like, okay,
You've played this before, right? I think you've talked about this
I
on the
think
show.
I think I did, but
Yeah.
it's a very small bit of it. And that's the thing, is the game was in a it was in an unfinished state. Players couldn't reach the end. Now, games that weren't has preserved and shared a build of the game in mostly completed state, possibly taken at the point it was canceled. Version is finally playable from start to finish. Assistant programmer Pete Firth, who provided a new build, believes the new shared version is around 98% complete. He recalls a lot of the communication between the development team and Q&A testers before it was canceled, implying the project was nearly finished.
This looks so good.
Let's see. The game had been canceled because the original creator of Resident Evil didn't believe the Game Boy Color was worthy of the game, and ordered it to be canceled. It's not known whether this refers to the game's director, Shinji Mikami, or the producer, Takuro Furukawa, or Fujiwara, who originally conceived the idea of remaking his NES survival horror Sweet Home. But there's actually a shared thing, I guess, if you find games that weren't and follow them via, I guess, any of their social media. This is just posted via X, but I'm sure it's via any of their accounts. They have like a little video showing the game, and it's freaking Resident Evil. But
it totally is.
But it's all the 8-bit crunched. There's some like still frames and stuff. For certain, I guess, cutscenes, it would just be a still frame. But it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I mean, it works. I've seen worse PowerPoint presentations in recent animes. So
right. But of course, I think given because it's not 100%, it says that there's some cutscenes that are unfinished. Some sprite colors are wrong. It points out Wesker and Barry have the same sprite. Zombies also drop to their knees when killed instead of falling over. But other than that, it looks like, yeah, if you just wanna download this and play it, go for it, and you can completely finish the game even with those little bitty quirks. And you know there's gonna be some diehard person that like dives into the code and probably eventually fixes those little bugs here and there.
Straightens out those two or three fixes. 98% is pretty close.
Do the Lord's work.
Yeah, and
They'll do the Lord's work. They'll figure it out.
It looks great because Resident Evil was on pre-rendered backgrounds, so they're just kind of using static 8-bit Game Boy Color backgrounds and moving characters around on that. And it works for the most part. It is crazy, though. We'll take the Lord's work, as Cesar said. Knock out those last two things. I love stuff like this when it comes back into play. 98% complete.
And last but not least, who's heard of this console called Next Playground?
I had to look this up. It came up about a week or so ago. Somebody at work brought this up.
Yes.
They were like, "We know you like game systems. You heard of this thing?" And I'm like, "What the hell is that? What is it, Brant?"
So this article is from... Go ahead.
Before we get started, I've actually played with it. I used it.
Really?
My dad randomly, maybe about 2 months ago, because he's been trying to get more into exercise, called me over and said, "Hey, I need your help hooking this up." And I was like, "I don't even know what the hell this thing is." He's like, "Yeah, we saw it in Sam's Club, and we
Oh,
bought it."
okay.
And so I had to hook it up on their TV, and essentially it's just a Kinect camera built in to the system. And they ended up returning it because I think they weren't. What they found out was that it is kind of like a Game Pass. You have to play the subscription. There's
Yep.
no free games in there. There's no games included. Because my dad just bought it because he was trying to get more exercise, because after he's just trying to just do a more healthy lifestyle. So that's what they ended up. They've been doing that randomly, just picking up random stuff, and that was just something that they picked up.
Yeah.
And
Get 'em
so
a
I think
Wii.
I sat there and watched. I sat there and watched. They do have one, but
Ah,
I sat there and watched them play it for like a couple of hours, and I mean it looks entertaining. But like I said, it gives you a bunch of demos. One of them's like blocking soccer balls like this and different angles, and it seemed to be very accurate. So yeah, I forgot to mention this. They tried this out like in September or August of this year or something like that. It was early this year. So they played it that day, and I think they ended up returning it because I think what didn't sell them was that the fact that it didn't have any games included with it. There was a bunch of demos, and then when you get to a certain point, it's like, all right, you got to pay $100 a year, or whatever the amount was, or whatever
Yeah.
it was, and
Mhm.
my
it's
mom was
purely
like,
a
"Nah, I've already paid
subscription model.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom was like, "I already paid $200 for this." She's like, "I'm not." She said no. That's not her thing either. So they ended up returning it. But I mean, from what they played on there, what I saw, I didn't play any of it. I just kind of watched them do it.
Mm-hmm.
They enjoyed it. It does a pretty good job of like the Connect, where it can see multiple people. They were both playing certain games. So, but yeah, because they had asked me to hook this up for them and set it up. So you have to create an account, and it links it on there, and it's all Android based, and it's just pulls up a roulette of like random games you can play, and it's like different difficulties for all of them. So,
But it
So
works.
that's my story.
Yeah.
Camera's accurate, very accurate. You don't have that weird Connect stuff where you have to like, and then randomly like resync the camera again. So I mean, it does seem like it's upgraded. So
Oh, it takes pictures of you as you play, kind of like the Connected, where you would jump, like you jump on the raft, or you're doing Just Dance and sort of thing.
But this article
I'm sorry,
is
Brandon,
from
you can continue.
VGC Chris Scullion, and it's a quote: "We are standing on a giant's shoulders." Next Playground CEO says it wants to fix the problem Nintendo had with the Wii. So,
selling a shit ton of units.
I think it was last month. Like Cesar said, it's about $250. This console got 14% of the console share on Black Friday. It was third place, pushing Xbox down to fourth.
So
holy shit!
To add to brand, they don't. They don't state it in this. The reason why it sold so well over the holiday sales was because that a lot of them included the 1-year subscription on there for a good price. It was like $275 or $300, and you get the console, and then you also got 1 year included.
That seems to be a good bundle. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Then you get all that content.
Continue, my bad, Brent. Yeah.
So similar to the, I don't think any of us have one, the Playdate, where you buy the device and then you have, like, you buy the library. You buy the subscription to the library. Okay.
But as Cesar said, it's an Android-powered console with motion tracking camera, similar to the Xbox Kinect. Offers games based on popular IPs such as Bluey, Peppa Pig, Fruit Ninja, Sesame Street, Barbie, Gabby's Dollhouse, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Brent, you said Teenage Mutant Turtles like you weren't familiar with the property. It almost sounded confused.
No, I wasn't. I was confused by Gabby's Dollhouse.
You like Anchorman? Ninja Turtles?
I was confused by Gabby's Doll. I've never heard of Gabby's Dollhouse.
Who put the question mark in the prompter?
So, Brent, there's 4 of them. They're named after Renaissance painters. There's Michelangelo.
No
He's the
way.
party guy.
Next, you're
No.
gonna tell me they were raised by a rat and they love pizza.
Hear me out. So hear me out. And surfing phrases. That was awesome.
But in an interview with the Game Business, Next CEO David Lee explained that the company's decision not to sell games for the Next, but instead offer Game Pass style Play Pass, which gives
none
access
of these
to
games,
every
none of 'em.
game in the library for a 3-month or 12-month period, was inspired by the problem Nintendo had getting casual players to buy more Wii games. So one of the most important things we should do is learn from history and try not to commit the same limitations. And that's why we have a subscription model. Nintendo expanded the audience with Wii. When you expand the audience and they want different things and they only buy a Wii Fit, Wii Sports, and not many others, that's a bit of a problem. Who am I to speak for Nintendo? Nintendo obviously has a really great strategy, but how they want to serve the audience. But from our perspective, we want to build something sustainable. And if we build a platform and people come in and buy a couple of games and that's it, the whole system is not sustainable. So that's his whole thing. Is
It's an interesting
they
take.
went through, yeah, they
It's a
landed
take.
on the
It's
whole
a take.
Game Pass model and everything, but like Cesar said, I mean, I don't know how expensive it is, but you already pay $250 and then you have to pay a subscription on top of that. I mean, who says that? Obviously, it's not for us because the people that are, I guess, core gamers, they're gonna pay for the games they want to play, not like go. Well, I don't want to play just Fruit Ninja and then cycle through, and then you got me Gabby's Dollhouse and Ninja Turtles and
Question mark.
and then I've got to wait, 4 months, and then it cycles again or something. Yeah, who knows? But
I mean, it's not super expensive. I think it was like $90 for. I'm looking on the website. $90 for 12 months, $50 for 3 months. But as Brent has said, you've already got $250 in that ecosystem. Then you got to spend another $90
Is
to
that
stay in that ecosystem.
is that stuff guaranteed to stay? Is it a rotating catalog? Like a
They tell you up front that those games can rotate out because of their, those are licensed IPs on some of that stuff. So it's kind of like Netflix. Some of that stuff will just fall off.
This is why I hate subscription services, because the people selling you the subscription services go, we know better than you do. We'll tell you what you want to play. Not like we don't want to give you the choice to buy games that you want to play, but we'll just give you games. You play these games.
Yeah, because it's that weird bullshit. Like, oh, like 60% of the people stopped playing this game, so that's why we removed it. And like, well, but that doesn't. I still play.
But I liked it. I wanted to play it.
Yeah. And you won't let me buy it, so I have to
exactly
do this weird method. If I, let me buy it piecemeal if it's something that I like.
On your 60% drop off, Cesar, they sold a bunch of these things with that bundled in first year. If you don't have that free year, are you going to go back to that thing? Or are you going to decide like, hey, I paid $250 or $300 or whatever the bundle was. I got my year's worth of content. My kids kind of fell off this thing after 6 or 7 months. You either have e-waste or you sell it to somebody else to try to. What's that, Brant?
So they're probably not re-upping if their kids dropped it. Why are you going to spend another $90?
Yep. Which probably happened with a lot of Kinect cameras too, but people are playing the hell out of some Kinect Adventures for a while and Kinect Sports and stuff. I think there was an iToy game when Cesar, when you were talking about the soccer balls, I think there was an iToy game where you would move your body and block soccer balls. Mm-hmm. Remember that? I sold a shit ton of iToys back in the day, the PS2, which I think was a precursor to the Kinect. I don't know. That little thing's cool though. I would like to see one. I'm glad you got to see one in person, Cesar. I'm
It
not.
did super accurate. I mean, there wasn't, from when I saw in there wasn't any frustration like, oh, it lost me again. It it when it locks you in, it locks you in. It was able to tell multiple people pretty easily. So I mean, it's the tech is there. It's just, I mean, you just have to invest in that ecosystem. So I mean, really, if you go to that if you go to Next Playground's website, they're big on like, you know, as Brandon alluded here with those particular IPs, which are Nickelodeon based, are very big on families of like 3 or 4 with kids that are elementary, middle school, and everybody interacting together. That's like their biggest market that they're aiming for. So basically, families, something you do together. But I mean, like I said, you kind of already do that on your own, Richard, with your family with your current setup. So
Yeah.
but I mean, 250s, a good way to, if people don't have that vast array of consoles, I mean that will get the job done,
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're different in that we can hook up a 360 and a Kinect and have 5 or 6 Kinect games.
yeah.
So it's sold out on their website from what I'm looking at. Damn. Stay active year round. 5 free starter games. Whack-A-Mole, Starry, Fruit Ninja, Go Keeper, and Party Foul. Those are the demos probably you were talking about, Cesar?
Yeah.
Easy to set up. I mean, it's a cute device. Interesting.
It works. It's not like it's not a cheap gimmick like some of these we always randomly see like, oh, at games,
Yeah.
play Pac-Man, and it's like cheap plastic and cheap LCD screens, and like there are weird cartridge setups. Like this is it feels like it's worth the $250. So it's a decently built device. So
Travel case.
yeah, it's got some heft on it. It's easy to take. It does have a travel case, so if you were to go vacationing and stuff like that, it's very easy to just grab. So
Might have to keep an eye on this thing. We like a good market disruptor, right? And then they're dipping back into the Nintendo's blue ocean strategy. Make it simple, make it to where everybody can play. There's a lot to be said for that. And subscription services aren't I mean, we all use them. It's not like we're averse to them. And everybody's just kind of, people are like, oh, it's $10 a month. Just throw it on there. That won't be a big deal. It's not a big investment. So that strategy could work. I don't know about calling out Nintendo's strategy from a platform that's been gone for 15 years, but sure, that is a take, as Cesar said.
I think this, the way he worded it, because he was like, he had to walk it back. Like, we're not shitting on them, but like I think they were trying to say like, hey, we just feel like this is the evolution that Nintendo should have taken.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo, I mean, we look at all the game developers or manufacturers, or everybody's kind of just like doing the same thing now. So it's like the innovation is like slowly going away because of the cost of gaming is going up. Nobody wants to take chances anymore.
Yeah.
So
here's somebody
like
out there.
Here, they're like, hey, we're going to take a chance. If it sells well, I mean, it might wake somebody up like, hey, maybe we should probably get back in here and come with an accessory that kind of changes the way things are going. Because I mean, you saw what happened with Sony. Unfortunately, they tried to do that with VR, but that unfortunately is, that's going to probably die with the VR too. So
Yep.
Give us more plastic instruments and dance pads.
I think the Steam Machine is probably going to solve that issue with just doing a wireless VR headset that kind of just does it for display stuff and has hardware that kind of handles that. It's more. I think it's going to be more accessible that way. I think they got the right idea.
So you can currently, there's an adapter for PC to PSVR 2, right? You think they'll find a way to make that compatible with the Steam Machine, or are they going to leverage their Steam Frame platform more than anything? Because a PSVR 2 is still a good headset.
On that stuff.
Yeah.
They're very agnostic on there. I wouldn't be surprised if that device works for Linux. I wouldn't be surprised if you plug it into USB port, it just works.
I wonder how. I wonder if it does work for Linux.
We won't know until we get our hands on there. I would imagine it would. So that would be a look on the adapters. Look up the adapter specs on the Sony site and see.
Yeah.
It should say on there whether it works for Linux or not. I would imagine it would, but
because I've been watching a lot of like people video game YouTube people. They're building their own Steam machines, right? They're They're taking kind of a lower spec Windows machine and flashing Ubuntu on there, and Linux kind of overachieves gaming over Windows because you don't have that. Assessors pointed out with the handhelds, you don't have that Windows lift on top of it. So I'd be interested to see if that was optimized for it and how that performed.
Yeah, Windows is such a system hog, man. And somebody was putting like somebody on social media was showing images of like, yeah, there's a special Copilot version of the Asus ROG X Ally, and I'm like, oh my god, like no, it's like stop putting that shit in there, like
you're gonna hose any performance you had.
Yeah. Why are we allocating more resources to that? Some people don't want to deal with that, so it's like Windows is funny. That adapter only works on Windows. I just checked.
Yeah, I'm seeing 64-bit Windows 10, Windows 11, unless it gets some kind of software patch or updated version.
Somebody might figure it out. So,
right.
I thought I had
it's basically I thought I'd stumbled onto something.
Hey,
it's probably just a driver. So
most of the stuff that we download on the Steam Decks and all those little sideload things, they just take the place of the Windows functions. So, like you said, somebody will figure it out,
or somebody develop like a Decky plugin. Like there's third party tools that run in like a Decky platform or something.
Yeah,
time will tell. I'm getting excited for next year. New hardware is always exciting. This next thing is pretty cool too to me. Next, I knock my glasses off. What's that thing called? Next Playground?
Yep.
NEX Playground. All right, that was our news. Is there anything else we've read about or stumbled upon recently? Cesar's turned me on to a couple of YouTube channels that are like list heavy, like top 50 original Xbox games of all time. And my algorithm now is just feeding me nonstop lists. It's like I have to get up and consume a list and think about it in my head. Like, okay, I'm
sorry about Culture Vulture, man. That's all he does. This content's just lists. So.
It's great, though.
He does good stuff, though.
Oh, Brant's familiar, too.
Yes.
And some of the jokes, I'm like, these are jokes we would make. This person would fit in great with us. Even the British humor. And but I was going through. I was watching one this morning. It was like top 20 original Xbox games. I don't know how it's that much different than the top 50, but maybe it was console exclusives or something. Like they do different things with these lists. And I was running through it, and I was like, I have all 20 of these games. And my spouse was listening, and she said, "Are you proud of yourself because of this?" It's like, I don't know how to answer that. I'm making a comment because I have the 20 that. This individual across the pond on YouTube agrees or has stated in this list that it's the top 20. But the lists are fun, right? And he wants commentary back and forth because what was it? Persona was like maybe it was top 50 PS2 games, and Persona 4 was like number 15 or 14. He was like, you know what? If you want to put Persona 3 in here, great game. Pop it in here too. That's fine. Or he did Battlefront with the original Xbox games. He's like, I prefer the second one. You could play as Jedis and there were space battles, but if you like the first one, great game. Pop it in here. So they're just fun, and it's the sense of discovery. Like we feel like we've either been around or covered this or collected or various things over the years, and then you can still find something new that you didn't know about. Cesar, remind me to see that video you sent me over the John Madden stuff. Like there's a John Madden 95 on Super Nintendo that's incredibly broken. Brant, if you get ahead, like you're beating the opponent, they'll start subbing out your starters. They'll put in like the garbage backups off the bench.
the bench starters, yeah. That was funny because that guy's like, why is my starters bench? She's like, what the hell is this game doing?
Yeah. It'll start injuring your players, like to even the odds, the players will come back. It'll write over. It'll take if you're ahead on certain, like what was it, NFC championship game or AFC championship game or a Super Bowl. It took like the third string wide receiver and gave him like god tier stats. Like a pass went to him and they just took off like 100 miles an hour down the field, and it's just like these cheat and code things.
I was laughing because like now I have to sit there and watch a string wide receiver Cabbage Patch
Yeah,
as he
doing
he
doing
scored a
that dance
touchdown.
across. Oh, but I've had some fun with like some of these gaming YouTube channels. I need to see if I have
So
that Madden 95. The game looked
yeah.
good. It looked like a good football game.
And what's funny was that remember he sat there and I think what set it up was like, yeah, I could only get one Super Nintendo game for Christmas in 1995, and that was
Yep.
the one I asked for, and this is what I was treated to.
But then
He's like cheating ass computer.
cheating ass computer. But then you
Buffalo
discover
Bills called the Jaguars.
yeah, they stopped the game like mid game, and it's like this is a picture. It's a pixel art of John Madden, and it's like, was it Broncos call the Jaguars or something? Buffalo calls the
Bills.
Jaguars. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was going somewhere with that. Oh, you find out all sorts of tidbits. Like the first Madden that EA was developing was like Looking Glass. It was like one studio, and then Looking Glass got it, and they would go on to make Thief and System Shock. It's like they cut their teeth with Madden, and then Visual Concepts, which still makes like 2K basketball, and they used to make the 2K football. I think they developed that one we were talking about, Madden 95. So there were like these
95, yeah.
There were these like industry giants, studios developing some of these early Madden titles, and I just that part I never knew. I would not have picked like an immersive sim studio to have cut their teeth with Madden on the Genesis.
Inspector Studio, Looking Glass.
Looking Glass. I listened to My Perfect Console had Mark Cerny on there. Speaking of connections that I didn't know, he worked on the 3D glasses for the Sega Master System. So it was like
the ones that never released, or that they were too powerful, right?
Am I thinking of the Master System or the Genesis? No, it's the Master System ones. They came out, the 3D for the Master System.
Okay, they came out. I'm thinking of the Genesis one.
Yeah, the Genesis ones didn't come out. So he developed that for the Master System, and then did like Sega Technical Institute for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and stuff. I've just been consuming a lot of content like that. Most of our free time with the family, we've been watching Stranger Things. So the finale of that whole series is it out now, Brant? Do you keep up with that series?
I'm caught up. The finale comes out next Thursday.
Okay. So we are notoriously bad as a family, or as individuals, I guess, at keeping up with properties and finishing stuff. We have somehow stormed through, we're halfway through season 4. We have stormed through 3.5 seasons of Stranger Things in like 3 weeks. Any free time we have, we're queuing it up and watching that. And my kids are totally hooked on it. They got like Stranger Things plushies and stuff for Christmas. There's like a little Dustin plushie upstairs and a little Demogorgon. But they're absolutely loving it. I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago. We had watched like the first season. Maybe we were picking up the second season, but literally any free time we have, we're watching that show. So that's taking up the majority of it. I mentioned a couple weeks ago, I had ordered a wheel. So I got a Logitech I'm going to mess this up. It's not the shit. I think it's the G29. I think the G93 is the one that's not backwards compatible with the PS3. So I did all this research on racing wheels. I had one for the PS2 that was kind of it was like a Mad Catz one or something the kids really enjoyed that's not working that great. So I was like, I've been wanting to mess with this for a while. Let's go ahead and grab one of these. So this is the G29. That's right. I got the steering wheel and the pedals. I don't have the shifter yet. You got to get the shifter like separate from the SKU that I got. I got it refurbished from Logitech. It was a great discount. And from what I could tell, everything works flawlessly. They got rid of, so this is an updated model. On the very top, you have like a slider. You can select PC, PS4, or PS5. If you want to play it on PS3, which of course I'm crazy like that. That's the first thing I'm going to try out. You set it in the PC setting and you hold down L3, R3, and you click in the shifters and you hold that until it buzzes and then the wheel starts spinning and it's compatible. It's ready to go. And so I popped in, mentioned it early in the episode, Gran Turismo 5 Prologue. and I did a race with it and was feeling like the feedback through the wheel and stuff. And then my kid has taken over and is just like having a ball with it. They both have, but my oldest, I guess they're still a ways away from driving, but they are closer to driving than the other one. And they just totally dug, like trying to figure out easing up off the gas, tapping the brake to go around corners, and it just the force feedback and stuff that it gives you with the wheel. Like I've messed with racing wheels before, but this is a whole nother level, and it's just a lot of fun. That's all I've tested so far is Gran Turismo 5 Prologue, which came out kind of early in the PS3's life. You had the Gran Turismo HD demo, and then this was a retail SKU. I think it was like $10 or $20. It wasn't a whole lot, but they did actually sell this demo disc of sorts. I actually think that's it. Messing around with that stuff. I didn't do any more with the 64 or the analog. I did download. I don't know if I talked about that or not. I downloaded a couple ROM hacks and threw them on the summer cart. There's an NFL Blitz 26 and there's an NFL Blitz 26 V2 with a roster update. So they kind of did like a mid-season roster update thing on there. And it's legit. Like, it's Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback of the Chiefs. And in V1, you've got Michael Penix with the Falcons. And in V2, you've got Kirk Cousins. So I guess they did the roster update after the injury. But they're in there, and the teams are graded the right way. I'm waiting for Cesar to play this one, so we're going to have to dive into that at some point. I wish I could send these people money for this work they've done. And then I downloaded Super Smash Brothers Remix. Have you guys heard of this one? It's a ROM hack for the 64, but it seems like it's super legit. Nothing about it seems like a fan mod or anything. So you've got like 3 pages of maps that you can play on boards for Super Smash Brothers 64. You've got a shit ton of characters. Banjo-Kazooie are rendered in there. Bowser, Mewtwo, Sonic, Crash Bandicoot. Brant, you can play Smash 64 with Crash Bandicoot in it. They look like they belong too. It's crazy. I just messed around with that a little bit playing a Sonic. Sonic's like his punches, it accentuates his glove. Like when he throws a punch, you see his arm get bigger, and when he kicks, his shoe like gets larger. It's got that. It looks like it was designed for the 64 by Nintendo. And they sell actual cartridges of these, but that's just people, ripping the EEPROMs to cartridges. Yeah. You can download this and put it on a flash card. Brant, I know you've got a flash card, and I have downloaded all of these, and I have backups of all of these. So if that's something you're interested in, I got access to that. There's also a Mario Kart. They call it Mario Kart Amped Up, and it adds like fully 3D character models instead of, remember Mario Kart 64? It was still using pixels. It would just rotate a pixel to make it look 3D. This is actual like full 3D characters and a bunch of new maps and new cups, and it all just runs on original hardware. It's still crazy to me to pop something in. Like a couple years ago, I bought the Satellaview Zelda, the remake of the first Zelda that came out for the Super Nintendo online service in Japan. And it's just crazy to me to be able to pop a brand new experience like that into original hardware and play it. Like, there's no way we should have Trevor Lawrence on NFL Blitz, but there he is with the Jaguars, and it's like, man, this is crazy cool. The Lord's work, as Cesar mentioned, like the Game Boy Color Resident Evil people restoring that. Brant, I'm still in the 360 kick a little bit. Just popping in random stuff. Like I was trying to play some launch titles. I popped in Cameo Elements of Power to goof off with. Project Gotham Racing 3, which I never got into back in the day, but that kudos system and the drifting and stuff, it's an awesome game. And it looks so good still. And what I don't remember from this era is like popping in a game and you may have a small title update, but it just works. It's ready to go. There's not huge installs and stuff. I feel like when we left, like friend of the show, Mark's Knight, was with me when I picked up the PS4 and we popped in Battlefield, and it had this huge update. And I think we thought we were getting away from what we thought were those forced updates, but we didn't know how good we had it, right? We didn't know it was coming with constant updates. And I mean, there's been instances, it got Brant the other week, like, sorry guys, I can't play Battlefield. I got this huge update that's going to have to run before and that didn't used to happen. So it's cool popping that in, and it just works.
Yeah,
and
the PS2, the 360, when you just pop things in, and hey, look, it boots up and it works.
Yeah, might be a small title update that they release. Like Halo 3 had 4 title updates, I think. But even if you don't download those, you pop in Halo 3, you can jump right into the campaign and play the Halo 3 campaign just as it was when it launched in, was it October, November 07? But that's it for me. Essentially, race and wheel, some old school stuff. I think this next year is going to be a pretty heavy old school thing for me. I want to introduce my kids to a lot of stuff. I think we're going to try Metal Gear. I think they might be old enough to queue up a Metal Gear and just gauge interest. They watch all these YouTube Minecraft YouTubers that play that alert, Metal Gear Solid alert all the time. I hear it from across the room. I hear the brrr. I'm like, y'all need to know what that's from. You have no context for this. It's just like some YouTuber thing that's out there. Man, if Kojima got paid every time somebody used that sample on a YouTube video, right?
Right.
It will forever be known as a YouTuber thing, because now when they play the game, it's like, oh, it's a thing from the YouTube.
Yep.
Oh, it took over as that. Yeah. I have to show them where it actually came from.
Yeah.
Eminem's that guy from Fortnite now.
Oh, God. Master Chief, you know.
Here we are.
It's all these properties. Yeah, that next playground property you were talking about, Brant, where that rat raised those turtles. Those guys were in Fortnite too. I remember them from there. Turtles. Did everybody get the 4K Turtles collection?
I saw that
from Arrow Video.
Mm-hmm.
Mine came in and I opened it up. It's got nice little there's booklets in there and like art books and cards and stuff, but I haven't popped the movies in to check them out. So sorry, you stepped away. I was telling Brant the whole family's like plowing through Stranger Things. Like any free chance we have, we're all watching Stranger Things.
Yeah, I got a lot at the end of that one. I know some people have been spoiling it for other people on social media. So
I don't think it's going to enter any of their like kids' YouTube circles. I don't know, because they see weird stuff on there.
They'll be fine.
Yeah,
they'll be fine. Even then, I've already grown up to the point where if I see something, I'm like, I'll still watch it. It doesn't destroy my world like some people. So
yeah,
I somehow have managed to steer clear of like the finale of 25-year-old games. So, or I forget. It'll be one of the best games I've ever played. I forget the story and the gameplay. I forget everything, and it's like I get to experience it again for the first time. So, oh, my brain is funny how it works. All right, but that's it for me.
Yeah, I also want to mention on here, I don't know if you guys talked about it a couple times I'm out there, but don't forget that they're supposed to do that announcement for that lawsuit from Communication versus Sony Music that they listened to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
So that may have some ramifications on how you acquire your media. I don't think it's going to go to Sony's way, because I think Sony is arguing. So Cox Media, which you know is Spectrum, got sued by Sony, and they're owed $1 billion in damages for illegal music downloads, for copyright infringements. They
from
argued
users
that they should. Yeah. So they said that Spectrum has to pay that out, because Spectrum is not, when they identify people who are downloading illegal stuff like ROMs and music and movies, they're not blocking them from their services. So
I can argue otherwise.
So
I think I mentioned that to you guys.
So what they want is like so what Sony's arguing, Richard, is after you've been a repeat offender once or twice, they want Spectrum to cut you off. They don't want you. They're going to cut you off as a liability. They can't provide internet to you. You have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, they're trying to say they're trying to say the ISP is responsible for what the users do with it, which is kind of
lax.
So they did
too lax. They're like, oh, we sent a warning.
They did cut me off. It was not a warning. I didn't even get a warning. I got cut off. So I had to call and beg for forgiveness and figure out which machine had fired up some sort of torrent that was hosing me. So I told him like I owned it. I was like, all right, I won't do this again. I apologize. But apparently there's plenty of people getting by with it, not just not me getting called out and having my services shut off.
Yeah, so I think there's supposed to be a ruling early next year. So if you at some point there, Sony's trying to push where like, yeah, that you need to start blocking these people from having your services, and you cannot ever allow them on there again. So
Oh,
at some point, nobody would have internet if they burn the bridge for everybody in that area. So, but I think they're supposed to make their decision early next year. So you reminded me of that when you were talking about getting
ROMs.
your backup. Yeah. So at that point, you would be responsible for buying a device to dump your own ROMs that would
Okay.
not require the internet to get around that. So
Yeah. I have to prove
that
that
would
I
be
have it
the
to the powers that be.
VPN.
not even that. I mean,
That too. That's the easy
yeah,
answer here.
until they get sued. So
Yeah, until they block the VPN.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, it's all downhill from there. Outside of that, I think I'll start. I'm going to be brief, and I'm going to stay here all day. I've mentioned on here on this podcast before. I've been playing Infinite Discovery, which on
Yeah.
the 360 game of backwards compatibility for the series consoles. I've got like 5 hours into it, and this is a PS. You could definitely tell it's a PS2 early era, PS2, PS3, 360 game. I do not need a guide, but it's one of those ones that you guys would love because this game really wants you to use a guide to experience it. Because it's like it throws you in a open world, but gives you no context for half the shit, and there's like no context for some of the story, so it's easy to get lost. Like you play as Capel, who is a lookalike for Sigmund, who is trying to free these chains that are thrown from the moon that is tied to their world. That's kind of like stealing resources, but a lot of it's inferred. So it's like you don't know what's going on. And I think Aya is a girl who breaks into this prison that's trying to save Sigmund. That actually was Capel, and it's like this whole weird identity. Like they look alike, but they're not related. And he
Yeah.
got captured because he's a lookalike for this rebel. So Aya goes through and breaks him out. And then you end up meeting up with Sigmund, and then Aya gets sick, and basically you kind of split off from that group, and you try to find a cure for her. It goes into this other town. I forgot what the name of it is off the top of my head. You end up meeting these twins who their father, who disappeared from like a dragon or whatnot. You're like basically you have to go help them out, and it's weird because it's like it gets to this weird point where, like it's I don't know if it's funny, but it's like their father passed away, and they're like, "No, our father," and then like his wife was like, "No, I can't believe he died." But take these kids and on your journey, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I was like, they got over it super quick, and I was like, man,
Take
it's
these
pretty
damn
cold. It's like,
kids.
yeah, because like Capel's like, I don't want to take these kids because it's
Fuck
like,
these kids.
I mean, they're kids, right? They should stay home with you, and they're like, no, I need them to experience the world. Take them along. I'm like, what the hell's happening here? Voice acting is very subpar. I wish I could change it to Japanese. I probably prefer the Seiyu ones versus the American ones because the American voice acting is leagues better now than it has been in the past. You can tell this is like in the early days of that PS2, PS3 ones where some people just kind of phoned it in.
Yeah.
Like the people we got now that does anime and stuff like that are very professional, and
Right.
it's legit now. So it's very lacking on there. So, but the battle system is very, man, it really wants you. It is that time where like it's that timeline where you guys love, where it's like it really wanted you to buy a guide with this game. Like if you go to the Internet
I've got
Archive, the
this.
guide's there digitally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I've kind of like picked that in on there. So, which I prefer because I can always do Control F and search for stuff.
Yep.
And it goes more details about the background and like, all right, if you're here, level up your weapons, because it's going to get difficult on there. A lot of that stuff is not communicated in the game, and as well as some of the background stuff for some of these characters. So like that time period where they really expected you to have a guide with this game. It's a different time. Like now we don't have that. I mean, games are not that deep now as it used to be.
And they're hand-holdy. You get tutorials for everything.
Yeah.
I did not realize this game was backwards compatible. That's awesome.
Yeah, it plays pretty well. The battle system reminds me like Xenoblade Chronicles, is where it's like you get these open fields and you have it's also like Tales based. You have like a standard attack and then you have like a spirit attack. There's not a way to like lock in on these characters, so it's like you kind of have to aim on there. You always have there's an attack mode and non-attack mode, which you can run faster in non-attack mode, but you got to remember to swap back and forth. There's a parry system on there. It's pretty unique. The battle system is interesting. The story is kind of ho hum because it's like it doesn't. I wish it would go. It's not like it's like if you play Final Fantasy X and compared to this on there, 10 does a very better way of doing a narrative and building upon itself that pulls you in. This kind of like has some interesting stuff on there, but it's like I don't know why we're fighting these chains from the moon still. I saw a cutscene in the beginning. He fought this weird general guy, and I'm like, I still don't know what's going on and why we have glyphs, and then why Capel and some of these people don't like using glyphs, and like it's I don't know. It feels like it's an early RPG where it's kind of like missing that piece of it. So, but I mean, like I said, I got 5 hours into it. Like I every so often I'll pop it in there and just kind of play along. And I don't know, man. Some of the level design is interesting because like there's one where a castle where like it's just me literally going to rooms with no light upstairs, and then it's so easy to get lost. It's like I have no idea where I'm going. There's no way to kind of like tell me like, all right, you need to go upstairs or anything like that. It's like I think I've been this way, or I look at the map. It's like I don't know. It's definitely an early game, so you have to go with the growing pains on that when you go in there. It's like compared to what we have now, you go in there. But it's like it's weird because it's not as fleshed out as like a PS2 RPG or an Xbox RPG. It's like it's that weird area in that time period where they were trying to figure out what to do. So
who made that one? Is that a Tri-Ace game?
It is Tri-Ace. Published by Square Enix. Yeah, it's one of the Tri-Ace made a lot of 360 games at that time. Remember, because they did the Star Ocean.
Yeah, they did.
They also did was a Renaissance of Fate, which was the gun-based one. So that they were cooking at that time period where they did a lot of different things when they were kind of all over the place with different systems. And I think Renaissance of Fate is probably the most the one that took off, that done well, and that did pretty well for them in that generation because they actually ported that over to PS4, which is a super expensive physical copy game now of that.
Is it really?
But yeah, it's like $150. It's almost it's starting to get to Panzer Dragoon Saga. It's like you have to buy the Korean version and it's out of print. Yeah, it's almost $250. Yeah.
Did Tri-Ace do Eternal Sonata? That's another one that comes up in this era to me.
Did they do Tricrescendo.
Tricrescendo. Am I wrong, Tri-Studio?
That one was like a spin-off studio that was from the Tales. But I don't know if they've done anything recently.
Radiata Stories. I forgot about that one on PS2.
But yeah, outside of that, it's all right.
Stick with it.
Like I said, I go on there every so often and just go into the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. I mean, it pulls me through. I mean, I don't know, man. I'll judge it once I've completed the whole thing, and maybe it gets better. Outside of that, I've put in more time on the Brant's acquired Chronos: The New Dawn. I'm about halfway through the game. It still to me plays like Dead Space. It does have that aspect on there that you enjoy, Richard, on certain games where you have set pieces where you go into an open area and all right, you have to do a battle and stuff like that, and it kind of expects you to solve it like a puzzle because you're limited on ammo, you're limited on grenades, you're limited on flames, and so
the Resident Evil Chronos games.
Yeah, because it requires you to find ammo, which is not plentiful, and it requires you to find resources to craft more. You can either craft ammo, health, and it's all based off your play style. So, like, if you're take a lot of hits and get low on health, you can be using a lot of resources to build health, and then you're not building as much for ammo. And so, like, you do have cores that you can upgrade your suit to increase the amount of weapons on there, because it does do inventory management similar to Resident Evil. So you're always running back to like a great situation where you have to take shit in and out because you can't carry everything with you.
In and out of the suitcase.
So it does
Tetris in the suitcase.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad because it's unlimited. So, but it's like it's just you get cores to get more inventory space, but then you also can build up your integrity of your suit. You have to choose which way your style on there. So depending on how you play, you kind of gear it towards it. We didn't talk about it recently, but there was something in the news like a couple of days ago where they're doing an update early next year, that makes it easier mode for that one. It's kind of like a divers mode or something like that, where it's supposed to play a little bit more easy,
Okay.
a little bit easier on there. But I have been enjoying my time on there because basically you're playing this traveler who, like I mentioned before, you're kind of retracing the steps and you're trying to, as you go through it, opens up this kind of like mystery of Poland, where you get this background story where it kind of goes into after World War II and how the Russians took over, the Soviets took over, and they became a communist nation, and the rise of socialism there, and it was like very prevalent. And then something happened in the 80s where these people were becoming mutated and becoming what they're called orphans, where they kind of merged together. And it's like you get these little news bits where like the Russians kind of found this, looks like a portal to another world in the steel mill. And then they were kind of like exploring it. And then I'm in the steel mill, which is the halfway point in the game, where there's a doctor in there that's kind of like experimenting on these things. And they're like, yeah, like they merged together. And it's like, I'm at this point where like now they're underground, and like all these steel workers are kind of like got infected by this plague that's similar to like, it kind of paints this picture like COVID, where like everybody
Mm.
had to stay in quarantine, stayed at home. There's certain symptoms if you have it
Isolation.
on there that yeah. And so I love time-based shit. So at some point you get to these points in the game where you have dives. So the travelers have these anchors where you can kind of pull into 1984. So they go back in time because they're trying to like the traveler's working for the collective, which is kind of like a hive of minds, and you don't know what they're trying to figure out. So they send a traveler in there to solve this mystery of like what happened here, is what I'm gathering from it on there. And so the traveler goes back into 1984, and they're pulling essences, which is like memories or something like that, from certain people that they deem that are important at that time period, where they're like, okay, this person is kind of where they're an important figurehead that's kind of lead to this resolution that's happened where like nobody's alive and you have orphans all over the place in the current time period in Poland. And so like you're going through and you're trying to extract like these memories and whatnot, which by the way it sounds like these people have died when they extract the essences. And then you're trying to use a device that would send it to the collective. But you end up running into another character that's the travelers only exist one at a time. So once one dies, they send another one out. There's never two at the same time.
Okay.
But for some reason, I've run into another one called the Warden, who is a traveler that somehow survived, and he's like missing a leg and arm. He's like, he put this robot on there, and it's like you get some backstory, and he's like, yeah, they call me the Warden.
Story sounds
And he's like,
amazing. I did not know this thing had this depth to it. That's crazy.
yeah. And you get these backstories with the Warden, like he survived for a long time, and he's like he developed emotions and stuff like that because he's like he's mad, like why was I alone for this long? And he's like he's not giving you the whole story on there, like there's something going on with him. And the traveler, as you go through, she is having like these weird visions after she pulls essences, where she sees like these little memories from people, like she's having some cognitive issues. Like it's not supposed to happen because they're supposed to be very robotic. When they come out through there, they have like this ink blot test where they kind of like make sure they're functional, and they're like, all right, no emotions. They're just supposed to complete the task. But as you go through there, the traveler's starting to develop all these kind of emotions and whatnot. So it's like I said, I'm halfway through the game. It's pretty good, like I said, but there are points where I have to like pull away because it does get super difficult, or I'll come into like these as Richard, as you always say, like set pieces where like, all right, it puts me in this area and I know that like something's going to happen here and I have to do it a certain way, or it's going to be a lot of trial and error on there. So sometimes I have to like, all right, I'll come back to this later because it's like I'll die a couple times.
Yeah.
And try to figure it out. And it's never too difficult where I'm like, it's not like Elden Ring where I'm like, after I have to do this 40 times until I get it right. The one time I need to get it right. This one's kind of like, all right, I know what I need to do. All right, I do this, and boom. And it's very satisfying. So, but like I said, it does play a lot like Dead Space, even though the melee doesn't do shit. I wish the melee would. I can chop up the bodies when I do on there, but the orphans will still walk over and absorb them and still get bigger. So I'm like, it doesn't really do shit. The only way you can get rid of an orphan is if you have a napalm thing and burn their bodies. And so I thought I was big bringing it, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep going, get the napalm because it refills automatically, and I'll send there burning their bodies, but they still drop through and everything. And it's like I've wasted like 15 minutes up there, like thinking I was big bringing it. I was like, nope, the game's not stupid. So it's like it knows it knows better. It still brings out more people. So I was like, I just wasted that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, Chronos it's a game. It's a lot of fun, especially if you want to get that Dead Space itch on there. And it has a very good story because, like I said, I do like time-based stuff. I've always kind of enjoyed that stuff on there. And it's like you're doing like this weird what they call mind leaps, where they're just sending these memories back in the past and type situations. Outside of that, I've continued my adventures with Dispatch. Dispatch is a hell of a game.
Oh.
That's one
Heard it
that
was awesome.
it should be a TV show. So
It's a TV show that plays well as a game.
Should be a TV show. Yeah, it should be a TV show. It's written like it came out in the 2010s, like a comedy, but it's like basically it's a superhero. So I mean, you play the character's called hold for applause. The main character's called Robert Robertson, which is a ongoing joke. Like, how do you get a name Robert Robertson? What? Which everybody makes fun of his name the whole time.
That's awesome.
Plays a he started out as a, like I mentioned before, he's bent on revenge on like going after Shroud, somebody who's killed his dad. He's Mecha Man, which is like their version of Iron Man, and so they're looking for like the core reactor, kind of like the Iron Man that powers the suit. So Shroud's trying to steal it from him. It's like called the Astro something. I forgot what it's called. And so you go in this thing where the suit gets destroyed for the final time, and he's in a coma for like the last 6 months and wakes up from it, and he's basically retired from superhero activity because he doesn't have any powers. And so they kind of pull him in, like there's a Blue Bomber or something like that. She runs like a SDN, which is like kind of like a superhero company that kind of like dispatches superhero dispatch network or something like that, where they kind of like dispatch superheroes that work at corporate based superheroes, where they like people will call it in and they'll dispatch help on there. So she kind of meets up with him and they gives him this trial run, and they want to hire him as a dispatcher. And in return, if he works as a dispatcher, they will rebuild the Mecha Man suit for him. And so he ends up meeting a character named Royd, who's like a techie type person who's like they're going to kind of like modernize the suit and not do it based off the way his dad did it, because without the astral part he can't power the suit, so they're going to try to get around that. And so they basically put him in as a dispatcher for what they call like Team Z or something like that, where they're a team full of supervillains that are trying to reform into superheroes. And so it pulls up this like management system. So if you enjoy management stuff where you can based off intelligence, speed, or whatnot, based off certain stats, you would dispatch those people over to help whatever based off the situations, and you kind of try to match it up on there.
You assess it.
Send the wrong person, it kind of messes everything up. And sometimes they'll pull you in there where you have to like answer questions like, "Oh, I'll tell a joke" or something. Depending on the situation, you may have to do a little bit extra depending if you send the wrong person on there. And you can level up these characters and kind of build up their mind games. Their mind games, their intelligence and speed and all that on there, depending if you do a good job on there. And so
cool.
That's essentially where I'm at right now. So that's kind of like the gameplay, but it plays like Telltale game. The engine is very modernized, so like that jank for those games have kind of been cleaned out. It plays and so smooth. It's like it pulls you in and just as you go through there, and just like you're literally pulls you in like watching a TV. It's like it feels like what they were trying to do. TV show. Like I feel like what they were trying to do back in the PS3 and 360 days is like they kind of perfected it in this. And so,
wow.
But it's so well done. The voice acting's great. You mentioned Alana Pierce. She's in there as Minerva, which is like a demon from the underworld, and the underworld she's a character. The demon's from Australia, so it's a pun on pun with the underworld thing. So I was like, so that's the character she plays on there, and so. Like each one of them has their personalities. They all kind of hate him. There's Flambe and like there's some people that he fought in the past. So not everybody knows he's Mecha Man. It's kind of like the best keep secret on there. It's Tracer, which is like a kind of like the Flash, kind of pulls him in there and tries to, I think, put in the word for him to get hired on there. And they do some interesting things on there because, like we always wonder about the Flash. Like if you move fast, there was no physical ramifications.
Yeah.
So apparently he looks like an old African American Einstein because he didn't realize when he used his powers, it also sped up his cells, so he aged. So he looks like he's 80 years old, but he's not even 40 yet.
Damn.
So he's like. He's part of the dispatch. He's like, I can't be a superhero anymore because like I didn't realize when I was using my powers, like I age literally.
Repercussions.
Like they'll keep calling him. they'll keep calling him Pops, and he's like, "Dude, I'm not even 40 yet." I was like, "I don't even want to keep calling me Pops," but he looks like he's 80 years old. But but it's a lot of it's well done, stuff like that. It does a very, very good job. So like I said, I'll keep playing with that one. I mentioned earlier I played Sonic Cross Worlds just for the nights on there. It plays well on the Switch too. Uh, I've sent Richard a video of me, not video of me, but a video of Terminator 2D No Fate, which I've been playing, which does a pretty good, accurate recreation of the Terminator 2 movie, which makes sense because if it didn't, it would probably be garbage. It does fill in the blanks, though. I find it interesting where, when we watched the movie, we just inferred that Sarah Connor was just captured, right? And they took John Connor and put him in the foster environment.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of like answers that question because it shows her actually going to Cyberdyne and trying to blow up some of the systems, and that's how she got caught.
That's how she got in
So
prison.
like it kind of, yeah, or the mental institution. And so now I'm at the point where I finally got up to the point where they talked about the T1000 and T800. And so like it's done well in the storyline because it's like I don't know where they're pulling some of the lore from, but you have to play John Connor in the future, right? And so as you go through some of the levels, and it's like it feels like a side scroller. That's what it basically is, and it's done well. It's very interesting. Like you get a gun, you can shoot, you can throw pipe bombs. Each character is very different. Uh, like I said, the pipe bombs are only for the future-based John Connor, so not everybody's the same. So every character kind of plays differently, so it keeps it interesting on there. But it does, there's the one bit I did enjoy was like you play John Connor for a bit, and he's trying to stop Skynet from sending a Terminator back, and then they find out like his father tells him like, "Hey, they sent two of them back, one to 1984 and then one in the early 90s."
Oh,
And they're like,
hell.
"All right." It's like I'm gonna send you back to save my mom, and then I'm gonna send this T800 over to the current timeline because he already knows what's gonna happen. So he's like, you look at his face, he's like, "I already know what's gonna happen. It's time." So he's like, he just kind of pulls out what
That's
he
good
needs to do.
lore. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's done very well. I think the one I stopped on is the video I sent to Richard where it's fucking Battletoads, where I'm like, I'm going, I have to hit the speed 'em ups,
Oh,
and like you get the little warnings with the vehicles up in there.
Oh,
I died so
no.
many times at the beginning. It's like I was playing it like, no, it's a fucking Battletoads shit. It took
Battletoads.
me a minute to kind of get in there. Yeah.
What a great
So,
throwback.
but it accurately recreates Terminator 2 perfectly. It's done so well. It's not a long game. It's probably you can get through it about the timeline. The time length it does to watch the movie probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But it's a great time. It's a really good game, especially if you're a Terminator 2 fan. And then after this, I'll finish this up on this so I can head over to Brant because I don't know if Brant talked about this before, but I did finish Metro Prime 4. I beat it about 2 weeks ago.
How was it?
It's good. I like it. I mean, we have some more clarity. We all saw the reports from Famitsu where they talked about how they inherited this game from Bandai Namco, and they basically didn't change anything. So the first 2 years of the development of that game was set in stone. Nintendo didn't want to change anything in that game. So some of the complaints about how some of the age of the open world and all that stuff on there, because all that was baked in that time limit, and they said, yeah, open world's kind of evolved in the last 7 years because this game has been in development for almost that long.
Yeah.
So like, so some of those game designs and decisions, Nintendo said, yeah, retro couldn't change. So like some of the aged stuff on there that says like, oh, this is kind of old. Like, why would they do this? They're not trying to make excuses. They're just saying, hey, this is what it was. Nintendo has spent so much money into this game already. And they did mention that Retro's already ramped up to make a Metro Prime 5 if this game, unless this game bombs. So they said this game bombs and they might just let this franchise die out, but they already kind of ramped up to make the next one. So they said the next one will kind of be more modernized and different than what this one was to address some of the complaints on there. And they said, yeah, we know, but some of the like the open world, the desert, all that stuff was developed by Bandai Namco. They had to finish the job. So they said that stuff from like 7 years ago. It's a pretty interesting interview. You can find that on social media. It was all on the Famitsu Weekly.
I want to check that out.
That's out there now. I think somebody translated and put it out there where they kind of go in the development process of that game. But besides that, I do enjoyed the game. I thought it was fun. I did, the open world's kind of weird. There's certain aspects where you have to get the green crystals so you can get a new suit and all that on there later on, which is kind of cumbersome. But they do give you abilities later. Like, all right, there's a sonar where you can find where all the green crystals are, and you don't have to collect every green crystal. It's not a collectathon. So it's like after you hit a certain number, it's like they'll let you know, like, hey, you're good. Come back and finish this story bit.
It's not a mandatory
on here.
thing to knock them all out.
Yeah. But I mean, it does do a lot of as Brant mentioned before, like a lot of these side characters, these NPC ones, it does do a lot of a focus on them. And Brant, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like sometimes when I play this game, it's like it's not Halo, but I've always got like weird Halo-esque stuff when you have the Marines in there. It's like this feels
kind of
like Halo story-wise. Like this feels like this could have been a Halo story. Not the gameplay. Gameplay is still Metro Prime. They're very, very different. But it's like the environment that locale. It's like it feels like, damn, this could have been a Halo game. You know what I mean? You can definitely tell some people worked on Halo on there. But I think the only aggravating part for that game, the game had a great time with it. The only part I hated was the final boss battle, where I had to keep everybody alive and fight. And I'm like, that pissed me off. Like people would drop like, oh, I need to be healed. And like there were sometimes like he would go in there and like murder them so quickly before I get to him. I'm like, this is bullshit. I was
or
like,
two
annoying.
or three of them go down at the same time. You're like, the fuck. I mean, honestly, I do think it's a great game. My problem is with the ending. I think it's a great game hampered by a very meh ending.
And it's like a cliffhanger. It's like it doesn't resolve anything.
It's a very blah end. And the whole 100
friend of the show, Michael said they didn't stick the ending. He said they didn't land it.
The whole 100% thing and the extra thing you get with the Silex amiibo, I looked it up. It's literally, if you 100% the game, you get the exact same ending, just Samus's helmet comes off for it. And the extra cutscene you get during the game, as you progress, Samus keeps, the psychic crystal she picks up and is embedded into her helmet, which gives her the psychic powers. She keeps basically kind of like spazzing and getting like a rush of psychic energy or something, and it's giving her these broken flashbacks. And the more you progress, like toward the end, you see more of that flashback. The extra cutscene you get for getting the Silex amiibo is you get to see the cutscene in full, not like broken up. You just see the. I'm like, come on, man.
You get the motivation for that character where like
his motivation is he's mad.
Yeah.
he's mad that Samus is good at her job, basically. Like,
I mean, well, I don't want to ruin it. There's some other aspect to it, yeah, but it seems superficial is what I think Brand's trying to say. It seems like it's superficial. It's not like it's like the cookie cutting Marvel villains you get in the movies and MCUs, where like you get good superheroes, but these villains are kind of like cookie cutter, like and then they just end up disappearing, into the ether, and not, I mean, not all of them were, Stain or, Iron Warmonger, like as they go on, they got more cookie cutter and like, they're just here to fill like a template.
But I agree. It really is a great game. Just that ending is just kind of like, man.
It looks so good. It's a beautiful game.
This is a technical showcase for the hardware for sure. It's
such a beautiful
so
game.
far it's one of the
first
best looking Switch 2 games.
But yeah, and I think this is the first. I think people were super excited because I think this is the first Metroid in a long time that, outside of like Dread, I think that doesn't take place between 1 and 2. I think it's into the timeline. It takes place after Super Metroid and before Fusion, I think, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. Is it some of the stuff I look up? It says that it does take place before it, but other things show that in the Metroid timeline, like where it's at. What is it between Super
Well,
and
it's
the original, or
It's Super and Metroid Fusion because it's a majority of the games. I think this is all part of that Famitsu article because somebody was saying made a comment like a majority of these games like Prime 1, 2, and 3 all take place between 1 and 2. Like they said, majority of the Metroid games are like between 1 and 2, which is a weird.
and
And then
that's
after that, you have Super, then you have Other M, and then you have Metroid Prime 4, which I think they just said in that Famitsu article where they confirmed takes place after Other M,
okay.
and then before Fusion.
Well,
Because
remember,
That article
I've seen
that
the-
article has everything.
Yeah,
she
'Cause
takes out all
I've
the
seen
Metroids
both.
in 2. So it kind of has to
Yeah.
fall in that. Yeah. Because there's only one Metroid left in Super Metroid. It's the baby one, remember? So she's taking them all
Well,
out by that
this still
point.
has Metroids. This still has Metroids in it, but it's also that they're kind of just like mentioned. Like, oh yeah, Metroids, they're there, and then you can
If you s-
scan an
If
enemy
you scan
and
a
it
boss,
says,
yeah, and it'll tell you like, oh, fused with a Metroid.
it
And
fused with a Metroid.
But it doesn't actually show the Metroid fusing into them. It's just
Yeah.
there's already a thing. So, but as Brant said, I think the ending is not great. It tries
It's
to do
not a
that
very
weird.
strong ending.
It tries to do that weird Halo-ish ending where it's like, oh, you got to like play the another game to figure out what happened to everybody, but then you get like an extra cutscene which kind of ignores all that stuff on there. Kind of it's like a resolution to like another part of the story. But I was like, well, what about the other the other things that were happening there? Like what the hell? I'm like,
the resolution.
Are they
like
covering their
it doesn't.
Are they covering their asses in case this one's not successful, or is it like
Not sure.
we did it, we made
that
it?
Famitsu article said if this game bombs and that we would not get another one, but I think Nintendo is looking to make a 5th one where I guess they would kind of tie that stuff off. But it's like they don't want to put all their eggs in their basket yet because they pretty much confirmed in our article where like, yeah, Retro Studios is pretty much done as a Donkey Kong studio. Like they have ramped up enough people that they want them to start pumping out Metroid Prime games. That's like they're going to be their shtick, kind of like the
Really?
Xenoblade stuff.
Who's gonna end up with the Donkey Kong
they're going-
stuff? Those are successful too. Oh, are we doing 3D Donkey Kong now?
Yeah. I mean, because we didn't get the 3D Mario game, that new type of 3D Mario game. They went and did the Donkey Kong instead in that template. So
Yeah.
so it's like they're kind of letting people. I don't know. Like I said, if I find that article, I'll send it to y'all. Somebody went in.
Sounds like a good read.
They were talking about on social media. Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah,
everything.
that's it for me. I let Brand take over.
Yeah. I don't know about you. I mean, everything I see online, people are either they love it or they hate it. So it's kind of really kind of mixed out there. I'll start off with games acquired. Like I was talking about earlier, this game was on sale. You were showing us stuff from it, so I went ahead and got Sonic Cross Worlds. And figured I'd buy the upgrade path for Switch 2 since that's already out. Also, my copy of the horribly named Yuka Replayly came in for Switch 2. And I don't know. I've heard some decent things about ukulele, so at some point I'll get to playing that. Other than because in the time since our last recording, I also finished obviously Metroid 4. I went to my sister's house and gifted my niece, who's 6, some N64 games. She got 1080 snowboarding, and she also got
1080. Ricky Winterborn. I love that game.
It was interesting to watch her like sit there and try and like go downhill and start like figuring out like tricks, and she was picking it up. I'm like, okay.
Hold down Z. You hold down Z to crouch, I think, to go faster.
And then I got her Super Smash, and I was not expecting that to be as big as a hit as it was. And she loved her some Smash Brothers.
It's awesome.
So we were playing that nonstop, and she was she was picking that up pretty decently too. I'd be like, there was some time where it was just me and her playing it, and I'd be like, okay, well, you got to watch out on this stage because the tree right here, it'll blow and tries to blow you off the stage. I was like, but it's like, look, you can press up to jump, and press it a couple times, you'll jump twice, and then you can do this to extend your jump. And look, if you just do this, you do these kind of moves, and showing her the bubble shield and stuff like that. And she's like kind of progressively picking it up.
There's
and
a lot of
she was doing
systems in
really good
there.
with it. Yeah. But she loved and even before we left, she popped it back in, and I was telling my sister, all right, well, we gotta go. And, and everybody was talking, and then she just kind of tapped me on my leg. She's like, hey, can we play one more game? I'm like, okay. And one game, of course, turned into like 3. I kept looking over, and my sister and everybody, they're still talking. I'm like, all right, let's go again.
Good job, Brent. We were ready. We were just killing time while you guys were chatting. We were ready to go. We were done. I know that argument.
Other than that, I still had that itch after Metroid Prime 4. I was still, like I said, that ending was just kind of meh. So, what was that? A year? 2 years now that the Metroid Prime remaster came out?
Mm-hmm.
We beat that. I was like, you know what? I remember parts of Metroid 2. I don't ever remember beating it. Let me pop in Metroid 2. So I popped in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes on the GameCube. Started playing through it. That's a good ass game. It's a the only problem I have is the spacing of the save points and things.
Can be brutal.
At least oh yeah. Which is actually why I stopped playing. I mean, as most of the Metroid Prime games, as most of the Metroid games go, you get stranded on a planet, start going around, fighting all the flora, fauna, and with Metroid Prime games, scanning everything to get bits of lore and figure out what's going on in this environment. And
that's the light world, dark world one, right? Like a concurrent
running dark world
sort of thing.
Yeah, eventually you get sucked into this like portal. You see a dark version of Samus, and the ether or whatever, the Phazon is like eating at you, and then you run away, and when you get out of it, your suit's all malfunctioning, which makes you, of course, lose all your the upgrades you had at the start. And so then
gotta find a way to build that into the story to remove all the power-ups.
Get your power-ups back.
Yep.
And it's you eventually run into one of the natives on this planet, and they tell you about how there was some large thing that crashed into the planet, and it kind of split their planet into 2 dimensions. And now the light and the dark dimension are at war, and the light has been kind of losing, and they tell you about there's 3 temples, and they're trying to siphon all of the energy to one side. And so you're tasked with, of course, stopping this and transferring it all back to the light world. So I've gotten 1 temple, I've gotten several upgrades, I've fought the Dark Samus at least once. Space pirates have shown up on the planet, so now I'm dealing with the local like I said, flora and fauna trying to kill me, and
infestation.
Also space pirates. And then of course you'll be fighting, and then all of a sudden you'll get some like random Phazon particles that like come out and like corrupt a dead creature or corrupt one of the space pirates, and then they're You got to fight them now that they have some different powers and stuff. So a lot of good boss fights in this one. But like I said, there's the spacing between some of these save points. There's no like checkpoints or anything. So like in Prime 4, I think I only died 2 or 3 times in there. It wasn't super intensive.
Yeah.
But at least if I died, it was like, do you want to continue from your last save point or do you want to continue from the checkpoint? And the checkpoint would just put you like right before you were in the fight. In this one, the first time I've died now after playing several hours in, I went all the way through this area, had to open up like all these different things, and I got to the last section, and basically it's like a cylindrical room you go through, and you're going through like every level. And so I had done the first 2, there's 3. I go through the third one, do everything, and then work my way down, get a power up, and then there's a boss fight, and the boss killed me, and it put me like all the way back. So now I would have to go all the way through that third part again, go through, unlock the piece,
Oh, hell
and like,
no.
work all my way down. I'm like, and that's when I was like, okay, well,
did you miss a save room somewhere in there, like off to the side?
Nope. The save room is like at the top of the cylindrical area that I was talking about. I'm like,
No, that's bad design.
I was like, man, it's just one of those. That's just how it was. That's just. But it's to the detriment. It's to the detriment, especially if you encounter a boss and like trying to figure out its pattern, or it's just kicking your ass, and then you get all the way back. You're like, damn it. So
that's a pacing killer.
I stopped playing it at the moment, and I jumped onto Legend ZA, the Mega Dimension DLC.
Okay.
That had come out earlier this month, and I'm loving that. Basically, it adds 100 something more. I think 100 something more Pokemon-ish. Basically, all these different rifts start opening up around Lumiose. There's this little girl that appears with a mythical Pokemon called Hoopa, and he can kind of like stabilize the rifts to where you can go through them. And for whatever reason, he has to have donuts to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go to the little girl and craft donuts. And
how's the donut crafting minigame?
Oh, it's thankfully it's not a mini game. It's just you choose the ingredients, it crafts it, it's good. But as you progress, you can add, like, you start off with like only 3 slots, and then eventually it opens up to more and more slots. And the more ingredients, the more calories the donuts have. You can give them certain traits, like based on if it's a sweet donut or if it's a spicy donut, or I don't know. It's kind of, I'm like, a spicy donut. Why is this donut spicy or sour or bitter or like? Okay, but
never had a spicy donut before.
So, but it gives them like certain calories as well as like a time limit. So you'll go up to a rift, you'll feed the Pokemon the donut, and it will tell you, like, if you feed it this one, it's gonna give you like 2 minutes and some change, or 3 minutes. But also in these rifts, the Pokemon that are in there are stronger. So typically in a Pokemon game, how far can you level up a Pokemon? To like level 100, right?
Yeah.
In these rifts, they can be over level 100. So based on the donuts, you can actually get like level boosts to boost your Pokemon like 12 levels, or whatever it is.
Feed them donuts.
And so you have better chances of combating these higher level things. And again, like certain of these dimensional rifts that open, you go in there and you might fight a rogue Mega Evolution Pokemon like you were doing story. There's like a huge rift that's open over the top of the tower in the city, and it's like slowly growing, so you're basically going into these smaller rifts trying to explore and gather information on how to deal with the big rift before, something catastrophic happens. So
Right. Is
and
that paid? I'm assuming that's paid DLC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's paid DLC.
Sounds like substantial stuff, though.
It's not bad. It adds a bunch of different like Mega Evolutions and stuff, and I'm enjoying catching these the Pokemon that were new to the DLC, and they've added some like new characters to go along with the story that are like returned from the original X and Y stuff. So I don't know. It's not bad at all. I'm enjoying it. I know I got it. Members of my family who also have the game. Other than that, trying to think. I know. I don't know. I haven't really played. I think that's about it, honestly.
It's been a couple weeks, so I was trying to piece together like what random stuff I got into.
I mean, several weeks ago, I played so much, like a bunch of little PS2 games stuff here. I played like an old Ed and Eddie game. There was a.
I keep seeing that on license videos. Is that a good one?
It's not bad. I was wondering. Trying to remember. I think I have it for PS2. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I do. I need to boot it up for PS2 and see, because the I don't know if it's a problem with the rip I have of my copy here, but the music would do this random jumping thing where it would start and stop and like overlap itself, and I was like, what's going on with this music in the background here?
Brant, clean your disc.
Maybe, yeah. I need to re-rip it.
That disc you're playing off of, it needs a nice new sheen. No, I'd seen that one mentioned a couple times, and then a few years ago I got the Kim Possible PS2 game, which is like a really good platformer. It's solid. Good animation and stuff. All right, is that it for us? Are we
I think that's it.
Continuing our stream via the PlayStations here shortly? Rope in friend of the show Buish for some battlefielding potentially.
Up to y'all.
I did want to mention here before we sign off. I forgot to mention that I did get this in from the UK.
What we got?
Which is exclusive to the UK, which is a Yakuza 1, 2, and 3 combo set on a Steelbook.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. For PS5.
It's only available over there. Yeah, it's only available over there. So
it's not a PS5 game
key cheaper than buying them separately here.
So. Really?
Yeah.
That's a good pickup. Been buying those
Normally,
Yakuza games for a while.
Price.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will drop in price, but the trilogy pack that's only available in the region, and it was like $60. I was like, yeah, let's go. So.
Yeah, it's $20 a game. You're good. Did they get any PS5 specific upgrades on those? DualSense integration or anything?
We have not talked about it on this show, but yes, they is a weird path to victory. So some of us have digital copies of this game. So if you have a digital copy of Yakuza 0, you can pay $14.99 to upgrade it to current version.
Okay.
Yakuza Kiwami, you pay $1.99 to upgrade it to the current version on current hardware.
Makes perfect sense.
And then Yakuza 2 Kiwami, if you have that on PS4, is a free upgrade. So I don't know why they
I don't get it.
To do all that stuff on there.
They spread it out amongst the 3 SKUs.
But if you have a digital copy, and this goes across series consoles, PS4 or Steam, these games are delisted now on those stores. So the
Okay.
PS4 one doesn't exist, the Xbox One doesn't exist, and the Steam ones are the same. So it follows that weird pricing thing. So Yakuza 0, $14.99 for the upgrade on series consoles, PS5 and Steam. $1.99 for Yakuza Kiwami across those, and then Yakuza 2 Kiwami is just a free upgrade. So, but to answer your question, Richard, yeah, based off the back on here, I have not played them yet, but they list on here as vibration function and trigger effect supported.
Heck yeah.
DualSense
baby.
DualSense integration.
Which I was laughing because I just read a review on that DualSense ripoff for the Xbox consoles, which looks just like a PlayStation 5 controller. But has
Does it
the
really?
Xbox logo on it.
I don't even know what this controller is. Who makes it? Is it a Microsoft joint?
Where did I read that review? It is not a Microsoft joint. I want to say it's like one of the Elite controllers. I forgot what it was. PlayStation 5, Xbox controller. It's white and it has the white blades and everything. It just doesn't have the
Hyperkin, the competitor.
Don't know.
Okay.
I'm looking. I can't. I don't even want to take a guess. So, yeah, Hyperkin the competitor. Yeah, there you go.
It looks just like a fucking DualSense. It's got the same color scheme and everything.
Got the blades. It's got the same triggers. Everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same size. So if you wanted to play a PS5 controller with that, if you like that type of fit,
Interesting.
pay that $50 and get it on there. Yeah.
What'd the reviews say?
They were pretty positive.
Really?
Some people like they really like the the PS5 controller.
It's so comfortable.
So
of course,
I think, some people are like, yeah, this is great.
You have to have it corded as well for Xbox. I wonder how the haptics are though. That's the main kicker. Hall effect joysticks and impulse triggers.
I saw it on social media where somebody reviewed it. I'm looking at IGN right now. They gave it an 8 out of 10. They said imitating the PS5's DualSense, Hyperkin made a solid wired-only Hall effect controller for PC Xbox with a competitor catered towards those who prefer symmetrical analog stick alignment.
It throws some people off. Some people can't handle it. So I can play.
The only reason why I laugh is because somebody had said that in like Reset Air or something like that, like the analog sticks match as God intended, and I was like, oh god, here we go.
No, don't even start.
Somebody's gonna take that. Somebody's gonna start arguing. I was like, as soon as I saw that as God intended, I was like, oh god, here we go. And somebody's gonna rub the wrong way.
I mean, we both worked retail. We heard it all the times. Like, I don't like the sticks. I'm like, you hold the controller for all of 2 or 3 seconds, and you immediately know which one you're using. If that's throwing you off that bad, okay, but I don't know about that. It's pretty much doesn't matter. But some people, that's the hill they want to die on. So now we need a Xbox layout PlayStation controller so that we can play Gears of War as God intended on PS5 with an Xbox-like controller. And then we can play.
That already exists.
There already is.
Yeah,
one,
you can.
Of course.
You can swap out the D-pads and the analog sticks. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was about to say there's that modular.
Oh my god. Then what do we do? What goes back the other way? We play MLB The Show on Xbox Series consoles with the PS5 controller. Is that what goes back the other way? I'm trying to think, like, what do we do here? Finally, this is what I wanted.
Oh man,
the Xbox sticks. They've been messing with me for 20 years, 25 years at this point.
I never laughed so hard in my life when I saw that comment. As God intended, like, oh god, here we go. God intended. somebody chose violence because it's like, oh my god.
Always choose violence.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Here we go again.
It doesn't even offend me. I'm just laughing because I'm like, oh god, somebody's gonna take this super seriously. I was like, oh god.
Spoilers on all these top 50, top 20 PS2 lists. It's always San Andreas. San Andreas is always number 1.
Yep.
and then like alternating Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3. Some people love 2, some people really love 3. Some people recognize the differences in the two. Final Fantasy X is always listed. Final Fantasy 12 is never listed.
I mean, Metal Gear Solid 2 has aged way better. I was not a huge fan when it first came out.
Yeah.
It has aged way better with the way society has turned out.
Yeah, I mean, the relevance is definitely kind of predictive.
I think it's just because of the way how everything's turned out. If you play that game again, it's like it hits better.
Still fresh, like the messaging is still.
Yeah.
Whereas fighting the Soviets isn't as relevant as it once was.
I don't know. 3's a hell of a game.
3's really good too. Yeah.
I've never beat 2. I've picked up 2 so many times and started playthroughs and tried the Xbox one, which I don't recommend. And when I played Snake Eater, I just could not put it down. And then I played through it when they came out with the next version. And then I don't think I beat the 3DS one, but I played a shit ton of that one too. Because you could crouch and shoot at the same time. You could crouch and move around.
Played every Metal Gear Solid game straight through. And beat it to the ends when they came out. The only one I did not do was the Phantom Pain. That was the only one.
Phantom Pain.
5. I think I got halfway into the open world and I just fell off.
Ground Zeroes was good too. I couldn't put that one down, but you can beat that in like 2 or 3 hours. That's a great little mini adventure.
24 of the
Ground Zeroes as well.
Yeah. 24. I'm wanting to watch some 24 now that we were talking about it a couple weeks ago.
5 was the only one that I never sat there and beat. I mean, even fucking Ghost Babel on Game Boy Color, I sat there and I bought that for a trip to like go to like a family vacation, and I just I played like the first 5 minutes to see what it was, and I sat there that whole afternoon and beat it. It was amazing.
That brought you back to Nintendo, right? Didn't you say that you'd sworn off Nintendo stuff, and you were like, "I'm back."
No, what brought me back to Nintendo was the Neo Geo Pocket was canceled the weekend before I went and bought it. Because I was going to get the Pocket Color, and I had already bought a game. And I literally, it's like I waited for my next paycheck when I was working at Winn-Dixie, and I was going to go down there to Babbage's in the mall.
Oh, Babbage's.
Or whatever it was in the mall, EV or something like that. But
it was Babbage's. I worked at that Babbage's one time.
Oh, I miss Babbage's.
They said they recalled the console because they canceled it, and I was like, they let me return the game, and then that's when I was forced to buy Game Boy Color because that was the only option I had.
It was forced adoption.
I was all in on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I was all in.
Clicky stick. It's a good system. All right, let's get out of here. We'll spend 80 more hours talking games. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.